Hey guys, what is going on, and welcome back to What Shall We Do Next. I'm Mike, your host, and I hope you guys are having the best day ever. Before I get started, guys, if you are new here, please subscribe if you haven't already done that. We're on the road to 114,000 subscribers, and I would love you to join me on this journey, so hit subscribe and join the fam. And also, guys, go follow me on all my social media. Links are in the description. I have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and even Snapchat, so go follow me on all of those. And as you guys know, I have a Facebook account, so you can add me on Facebook, and we can be Facebook friends, so go do that. Link is in the description. And finally, be sure to turn on the notification bell right next to the subscribe button. That way you get notified every time I upload a video. Thank you. But once again, I am coming back at you guys with another creepy video, and today we are talking about another Black-Eyed Kids encounter. So let me just catch you guys up. We are doing a Black-Eyed Children series, and if you guys are new here and you haven't yet caught up, there is a playlist that you can watch on my channel to catch you guys up of all the videos I've done on Black-Eyed Children. And if you guys would like to hear me recite all 50 states of the United States of America in 20 seconds, watch my previous video, because I did that and I even proved that I wasn't cheating. And this scary story is called Trick or Treat. But enough of the jibber jabber, let's get right over to the story. Trick or treat. This really freaked me out. Yesterday, I noticed my neighbor hadn't put out all of his Halloween decorations, lights, etc. The past 2 years I've lived next to him, he's gone all out for Halloween. I don't know him well, but he's younger, single, and I know he likes kids, not in a creepy way. His brother and sister-in-law and their kids are always visiting him, and he plays with his 3 young nieces and nephews out in the yard. So anyway, I got home from work, and I was walking up my driveway, and I saw him outside, and said something like, "Hey man, you better get your Halloween stuff up. That house down the street is going to beat you with the best decorations." He kind of smiles, sheepishly, and says that he's actually going to keep his house dark this year and just put out candy. I asked if he was going out of town, but he said no. Something happened last year that really scared him. Now I was concerned for my own safety. If some weirdos were coming around our neighborhood, which is a pretty safe neighborhood with tons of young families living here. So I asked him what happened. He said, last year, he had his brother's family over so they could trick or treat in the neighborhood since they live in an apartment complex that doesn't really do much for Halloween. He had a bunch of kids come to the door like always. His family took off around 10:30. And there were only a few older trick-or-treaters, but by 11:30 they were pretty much done. So he was inside, watching TV, and the doorbell rings. He grabs the candy bowl, heads over to the door, noticing that it's a little past midnight, and that's pretty rude for trick-or-treaters to still be out. But then noticed that he hasn't turned off all of his decorations and lights yet, so his house is still a beacon. He swings the door open and is about to yell, "Boo!" or something to freak them out, but stopped dead when he sees the kids at the door. He said one was probably about 13 or 14, and the other 16 and 17, both boys. They weren't dressed up, but he remembers the older one was wearing a flannel checkered shirt. He was immediately overcome with uneasiness, like opening the door was a huge mistake. They just stared at him, and he noticed they had really big irises and dilated pupils. He couldn't even see the whites of their eyes, so he figured they were contact lenses. He was frozen there, holding the candy bowl, like he couldn't slam the door in their faces as much as he wanted to. So he nervously tried to smile at them, hoping they would break character and ask for candy or something. The younger one said they had gotten lost and needed to come in and use his phone. That was when he closed the door more than halfway on them and said, "No, sorry." The older one then said something like, "Can we just come in your house until our parents come and get us. But by then, he was convinced that his life was in danger, and these kids must have been high on something or intending to rob him, and he just kept mumbling, "No, sorry, good night," as he inched the door closed and locked it. He told me that he was so freaking scared at that point that they were gonna try and break in through one of his windows or something. But he looked through the peephole and they had turned to leave. He watched TV with the volume really low so he could hear any sounds at all. And he said he stayed up till like 5 a.m. because he was too scared to go to bed and drop his guard. The whole time he's telling me this, I'm thinking, oh my God, this sounds so familiar. Just like the Black-Eyed Kids urban legend. Then, I thought, hey, maybe this dude is trying to scare me because, after all, he does have the Halloween spirit. So I'm looking at him, but trying not to seem gullible. So I'm like, man, this is really crazy. Sounds like the Black-Eyed Kids. He just looked at me blankly. The what? Is that a movie or something? And I said no, but told him to go look it up online. Like an hour later, I get a knock on my door, and admittedly, almost jumped out of my skin thinking it's a demon child. It was my neighbor, and his eyes were freaking huge. He swears to me up and down that he had never heard of the Black-Eyed Kids before, and it's so similar to what happened to him. So we talked a while longer, and I told him that quite a few people probably know about the urban legend, and it's possible it was just teenagers with black contacts trying to freak people out on Halloween, which would be genius, by the way. But he said the fear he felt was so primal and came over him the second he opened the door for them. And that is the end of that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this story. It is pretty creepy. It's kind of similar to the other one I did called Halloween, where the girl opens the door. But in this case, the guy doesn't even know about the Black-Eyed Kids. So how could he just make up a story like that unless it happened? But even if it did happen, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean that it was actually the Black-Eyed Kids. It could have quite simply been, like it says in the story, it could have just been some kids using black eye contacts, you know, to look like the Black-Eyed Kids to try and freak people out, and obviously it worked. But my question to all of you for question of the day is, what do you think it was? Do you think this was the Black-Eyed Kids, or do you think it was just somebody having a prank on the guy, or do you think the guy was in on it the whole time and was just trying to scare his neighbor? Let me know in the comment section. That is question of the day. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button down below and let's see if we can go for 10 million likes on this video. I would really appreciate that. And remember the most important thing of all, guys, chase your dreams. I love you all. Don't let anybody bring you down, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for another video. Peace out.